You already know how it goes with this team. There's always something happening, and somehow the story gets crazier right when you think things are starting to calm down. This time, we've got off-field drama, a new roster move, and a couple of players fighting to prove they belong before the games really start to count. And trust me, there's a lot here that fans are going to have opinions about. So stick with me, because we're breaking down what happened, what it could mean for the team, and who absolutely needs to show up in this final preseason game. If you're enjoying the video, hit that like button and drop "Go Niners" in the comments if you're rocking with the faithful. The San Francisco 49ers are heading into their preseason finale with far more at stake than the final score, because one player in particular could be running out of opportunities to prove that he deserves a meaningful role when the regular season begins. And when you look closely at the competition taking place inside this roster, this final game against the Las Vegas Raiders could end up deciding much more than most preseason finales usually do. San Francisco has made another move along the defensive front, signing defensive lineman Viliami Fehoko to a one-year contract as the team continues adjusting its roster before the final preseason game. To make room, the 49ers released tight end Josiah DeGuara. The timing of that move makes sense when you look at what has happened at tight end. George Kittle returned after being activated from the physically unable to perform list, giving San Francisco its star tight end back in the equation. The roster also includes Jake Tongs and Luke Farrell, while the coaching staff continues evaluating other players capable of contributing in multiple roles. One name worth watching is fullback Brian Robinson, who showed some versatility and delivered encouraging blocking work in the running game against the Los Angeles Chargers. With Kyle Juszczyk having dealt with an injury, every player capable of handling multiple responsibilities becomes more valuable during this part of the calendar. But the newest addition is Fehoko, and there is an interesting local connection here. Viliami Fehoko was born in Stanford, California. He played high school football at St. Francis in Mountain View and then remained in the area to play college football at San Jose State. He is also the second cousin of Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive tackle Vita Vea. Fehoko entered the NFL as a fourth-round pick of the Dallas Cowboys in the 2023 NFL Draft. His time in Dallas lasted only one season, and since then, he has continued trying to establish himself at the professional level. He spent time with the Washington Commanders practice squad in 2024 and later with the Indianapolis Colts. Now he gets another opportunity, and this one comes close to home. His scouting profile coming out of San Jose State described a tough, active defensive lineman with a strong feel for finding the football. Evaluators questioned exactly where his body type fit best at the NFL level, whether in a traditional 4-3 front or with additional weight in a hybrid defensive role. One of the more intriguing parts of his game was a spin counter that evaluators believed could give him value as a situational pass rusher. The scouting report also projected him as a player with the physicality and activity level to potentially become an NFL backup. That is exactly the type of player San Francisco is taking a chance on right now. This is not necessarily a signing that completely changes the defensive line overnight. It is a depth move made at a time when the 49ers are still testing players, filling out the roster, and determining who can help them once the regular season begins. But opportunities like this can become important very quickly, especially when a player has limited time to make an impression. And Fehoko is not the only player entering the Raiders game with something major to prove. Running back Jordan James could be facing one of the biggest nights of his young 49ers career. Christian McCaffrey is back, and another running back has been gaining momentum inside the competition. That is Keyshawn Vaughn, who has impressed with his running style and, importantly, his work in pass protection. James, meanwhile, has had his own challenges. A rib injury early in training camp limited his opportunity to take advantage of available snaps. That is especially frustrating because whenever another running back misses time, the door opens for someone else to climb the depth chart. James simply has not had enough healthy opportunities to fully make his case. That makes the preseason finale against Las Vegas extremely important. James has qualities that make him an intriguing runner. During his college career at Oregon, he showed good contact balance and did not record a fumble. He has also shown the ability to contribute in pass protection, something Kyle Shanahan values heavily from his running backs, because protecting the quarterback can determine whether a player even gets onto the field. The issue is that potential only matters if the coaching staff gets to see it consistently. Right now, the competition for touches behind McCaffrey is becoming more defined, and James needs a performance that forces the coaching staff to think carefully about his role. A strong game against the Raiders could make the decision more difficult. A quiet performance could allow the depth chart to become much clearer without him. That is what makes this game so fascinating. For established veterans, it is one final preseason tune-up. For players fighting for jobs, snaps, or roster positioning, it can feel like an elimination game. And while all of that is happening on the football side, there is another story surrounding this organization that is impossible to completely ignore. 49ers owner Jed York was arrested over the weekend in East Palestine, Ohio. According to WKBN, York later pleaded no contest to misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct and possessing criminal tools, and was found guilty on those charges. The report said he posted a $5,000 bond, was ordered to pay $100 to $150 in fines, and received a 2-day jail sentence with credit for time already served. The transcript also states that the underlying incident involved an allegation of engaging in prostitution, and that $160 seized during the case was ordered forfeited to the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force. That creates a completely different type of question for the franchise, because now attention could turn toward whether the NFL decides to review the situation and potentially discipline York under league rules. So before we get deeper into what this could mean for the organization, and before we break down the players fighting for their futures against Las Vegas, I want to know what 49ers fans think. Which story concerns you more right now? The battles happening on the field before the final roster decisions, or the situation involving Jed York away from football? Tell me in the comments. And now I want to hear directly from the faithful. What do you think about everything happening around the 49ers right now, especially the situation involving Jed York? Should the NFL take action, or do you believe this should remain a legal matter outside of football? Drop your opinion in the comments, because I'll be reading what Niners fans have to say. And if you want to stay on top of every major 49ers development, roster move, controversy, injury update, and breaking story, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications as well, because with this team, the next major story can happen at any moment.